Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ango, and of course, in today's video, we got some really big news surrounding AEW, the Joker, for the Owen Hart Cup tournament. We're also going to talk about some really good news for AEW New Japan, the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, and of course, you may have heard the news from Freddie Prinze Jr. Wrestling with Freddie on his show. What is happening with his new promotion? I'm going to tell you guys what you guys can expect. All good things to come. If you guys want videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button, ring the bell, get notified. This way you can stay up to date with everything that's happening in wrestling, and I want to hear your comments down below. Okay, guys, a new legit wrestling promotion is starting. Freddie Prinze Jr. opened up about this potential future, and this is exciting. You know, a lot of people say they're going to get into the wrestling business, open up a promotion and whatnot. But it looks like this is not going to be an indie show. This looks like it's going to be a TV wrestling product. And obviously, it's going to be somewhat difficult to get a TV deal, which he acknowledges. But just some of the things that he's mentioned in his latest episode of Wrestling with Freddie. He says he already has a commercial realtor that I know and love. She's already looking at properties for me. I would love to have a full-time home for this. The plan was originally a 2-year plan. Now I should have the money for a 3-year plan, meaning it doesn't have to make money for 3 years. Now, I don't know what it's like to own a wrestling promotion, but I know people that do. I know people that own indies. I know people that are involved in wrestling. And when I talk to them, which I think anybody could just make the assumption, it's not cheap to produce wrestling content, right? I think everybody understands this. I think Tony Khan was very open about how much it costs as well. But basically, Freddie Prinze Jr. was talking about this. Right now, he hasn't signed anybody or anything like that. He's not hiring anybody, but they are looking at actually running a television plan. So what he says is that he has a plan on having this thing up and running in 18 months. That's the plan. There's a way for me to get it done sooner, but it requires me going to Australia for 3 months and leaving my family. So I'm not a big fan of doing that. Regardless of how kind and respectful the studio is, unless I was in a position where I had to, I love being a dad, and it's the reason I walked away from the business in the first place. If you guys forgot, he used to write for WWE, and he wasn't too thrilled about his experience there. He also explained that he would initially like his show to be 2 hours in length, but understood that he would have trouble finding a TV deal to start. He also detailed a few elements of the show that fans can expect to see. If you want to know that I'm serious, I've already purchased a used light kit. That was an arena kit. Also, he wants it to be a 2-hour show. Storylines based in reality. I want to give the women and men equal time on the roster. And then the goal is to bring the show to television. And I mentioned this on Ariel Helwani's podcast, but it's important for me to say, so I'll say it again. I want it to be a SAG show. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And if you guys don't know what that means, the Screen Actors Guild would mean they're entitled to insurance and medical benefits, retirement benefits, all of this stuff. So they would be treated more like actors versus pro wrestlers, sports entertainers, that type of thing. He also brought up unionizing up with WWE superstars when he worked with at the company, but he received the same answer every time that Triple H wouldn't go for it. Prince believes when Vince McMahon sells the WWE, the wrestlers should start thinking about their future. So obviously this guy is very, very strong about a union. Hey, Tony Khan and AEW, and they talked about unions. They talked about a whole bunch of stuff in the beginning, and none of it necessarily panned out. Hopefully, best of luck to him. But hey, we got a legitimate wrestling company coming, and that's going to be exciting. So let the speculation begin on TV deals and whatnot. It's going to be super competitive, but I wish him the best. AEW New Japan Forbidden Door sells out within like 40 minutes. Very, very limited seats remaining. Obviously, from what basically AEW put out publicly for the pre-sale, it was about so many thousands of people in the queue, around 20,000 people in the queue. Turns out the tickets are sold out. So based on what they've put out, available to the public, it's insane. It's honestly insane, but here's where I look at this, and I had a feeling this would happen, right? And it's not because AEW and WWE conversation, because I know wrestling fans, they like to argue about it. Samoa Joe says, stop arguing about wrestling, just watch your wrestling. But nonetheless, this is just a great achievement in general. These are companies that aren't WWE. WWE obviously is a very, very large company. AEW and New Japan combining clearly shows there's an interest in the product. The arena could hold around 14,000 fans. Around 20,000 fans were in the queue. That's I would say that's pretty damn remarkable. It's going to be very difficult. And also one thing to factor in, and I think everybody has to acknowledge this as well, is that there are scalpers. And that is an issue. That's an issue, and it's not going to go away. I don't think there's a way to clear this out. So how many of these people are legitimately trying to be there? How many people are scalping? How many people are using bots and stuff like that? But I don't even want to think about it that way because I still think there's a lot of interest in the product in general, and it's still a remarkable achievement. I'm not trying to take away from that, but that is something to consider. I know every single time I've tried buying tickets to AEW, I'm always getting screwed because scalpers, right? Scalpers buy tickets for cheap. Then you go to StubHub or whatever these websites are, and then you basically buy them third party for like 6,000 times more the price, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But that's why I'm bringing it up, because nonetheless, there's still a lot of people interested in this pay-per-view. They haven't even announced matches. Which is absolutely insane, but it's going to be really cool to see what they put together. And, best of luck. Hopefully the show goes well. I think it's really important for wrestling that it does go well, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, who is the Owen Hart Cup Joker? Yeah, if you don't know, AEW Dynamite, they did reveal that there is going to be a Joker for this tournament, of course. That is what AEW loves doing since the very first day of this company. When teasing a surprise entrant in a tournament or in a match, they're referred to as the Joker. And this is cool. I'm going to explain why. And I know some people are going to say, oh, well, you're flip-flopping. I'm not flip-flopping. AEW and ROH, we don't know what the plans are for ROH, but we know that Tony Khan has ROH now. So the whole thing about the roster being bloated right now, I mean, it's still true in my opinion. As of right now, until ROH has a TV show, it's still bloated. But if you've been watching the product recently, it almost looks like Rampage has its own roster. The same few people are constantly on Rampage, and the same few people are on Dynamite. And it's almost like a brand split without them actually saying it's a brand split. And it's not necessarily strict, but if you've been watching the product, I know a lot of people in Discord, they know what I'm talking about here. But it appears to me that AEW is trying to solve their problem with the bloated roster, and they're obviously going to succeed with that once ROH has weekly TV. So the question is, who is the Joker? Well, there has been a lot of talk about Cesaro coming to AEW. There is still a lot of rumors that Cesaro could be the one that is Joker. There's a lot of things that AEW has been teasing. Plus, a lot of people are curious as to whether that cameraman is Cesaro. I'm not even going to speculate on that because I just think that's a regular cameraman. But AEW is teasing a new debut here. And there's only two people that come to the top of my mind here. Johnny Gargano or Cesaro. I don't think it would be a Bray Wyatt. I think whoever's going to be in this tournament is going to be a pure wrestler. Guys like Johnny Gargano and Cesaro fit the mold. I think it's one of those two. Now, obviously, AEW is teasing this debut, which is huge. They're teasing something. And the real question is, okay, is this a one-off? Are they signing to AEW? Are they all elite? Or are they going to be in ROH? So that's why I'm not flip-flopping. Now that you have ROH, you can start separating your rosters and start getting more people on TV. Until ROH has a TV deal, that's not necessarily done just yet. But once they have it, it solves a major problem. What do you guys think? I'll give you guys more updates as they come out. Thanks for watching.